How about it in Hollywood? He's Sam Rubin, everyone. Hey, Sam.
Oscar set behind me, and to follow Alex Michelson is my professional goal. So
Yeah.
happy to be with you.
He is good, that Alex Michelson. So are you. So there are first-timers in the list of nominees at the Oscars. The Oscars are the most revered award, would you say, in Hollywood, Sam? First of all, just to Kim's point. Oh, is Sam, did he lock up for a second?
Sorry. Hang on.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Oh, there it is. Back. Okay.
There you said the Oscars are, and then you dramatically froze.
I'm guessing the most revered award. I mean, the most venerated award, the most anticipated award in Hollywood.
Using venerated, congratulations. 96
yes, a ding word. Ding word, yes. Thank you.
96 years, and I think in my own personal experience, these stars on the red carpet, and you literally, I remember Kim Basinger, Jennifer Lawrence, among other name drops, trembling, because I think when you're a 12-year-old, rehearsing your Oscar speech with your hairbrush, you're frankly not thinking about the SAG Awards, or the Critics' Choice Awards, or the Golden Globes. You're thinking about the Oscars, and there's something extraordinarily heady about that red carpet, and all these other statistics, 200 countries, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's the gold standard.
So tell us about the nominations today, if you would, Sam. If you have to consult notes, you're certainly allowed to refer to them, because there are a lot of different categories and people. And tell us about the first timers and most anticipated. And is it an Oppenheimer runaway? Go ahead.
Oppenheimer with 13 nominations. I think the thing that is the headline, which is funny, and I don't think she is snubbed, and these are cliche phrases, but I don't think they're untrue. The nomination is the win. So Barbie nominated for Best Picture, 2 Best Song nominations, I think all told 8 nominations, but Margot Robbie was not nominated for Best Actress, and Greta Gerwig was not nominated for Best Director. So I think people are like, oh, it's the snub of all time. It's not. It was the most successful movie of the year. It assures Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig extraordinary careers going forward, even though they've already had extraordinary careers. I think Greta Gerwig is regarded not only, I should say Margot Robbie is regarded as arguably the smartest producer in Hollywood, and could write her own ticket, as can Greta Gerwig. So, but in terms of these specific awards, there's a lovely photo of them. And if you see her in person, it's extraordinary. It's you've never seen anything like it. And it seems sometimes that when that happens, beauty overwhelms everything else. Well, not in her case. She's this doer, this mover, this shaker. Would this have happened if Amy Schumer were Barbie? Would this have happened if Anne Hathaway were Barbie? Would this happen if Gal Gadot were Barbie? They would not. So,
that's very interesting, that idea somehow that there's sort of externals that go into whether or not she gets a nomination. Wow.
So anyway, she, for Best Picture, the acting categories pretty much went as expected. The movie that I cannot tout enough to your listeners and viewers, if you've not seen American Fiction, and one thing that I think that's good about awards and nominations, and this cliche phrase, the nomination is the win, it does bring attention to titles you may not be familiar with. American Fiction, in my view, is the movie of the year. It's the funniest, the most touching. It's just fantastic. There's your Best Picture list. American Fiction actually tops it.
I've heard it called a perfect movie by people.
Well, what's interesting, though, is it gets a nomination for Sterling K. Brown as a great actor in a supporting role, Jeffrey Wright as lead actor. So the catering budget on Oppenheimer is more than the entire budget of American Fiction. And to me, American Fiction packs more of a punch. So that Best Picture list is Barbie, Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest, Anatomy of a Fall, which a lot of people aren't familiar with, and
very good.
American Fiction. So
yeah, Anatomy of a Fall is it's really good. By the way, in full disclosure, I haven't finished it yet. I'm watching it, streaming, but it's really, really good. And Courtney did finish it, and she was excited that I was going to watch it. There, in general, as you look at these movies, is there one that everyone, is there an eye roll in there, or like a side eye on anything?
No, I what's interesting, I think 2024 initially, because of the strike in 2023, seems like it will be more fallow. But there was good stuff coming out in 2023. So I don't think there's one of these that's pushed in. Maybe not the best poster for American fiction, but the best movie. It's just terrific. Sometimes I think these movies can be overpraised. I would say Killers of the Flower Moon is slightly overpraised. Another big snub is Leonardo DiCaprio. He wasn't particularly great in that movie. Martin Scorsese, though, scoring his 10th directorial nomination, most nominated director ever. Steven Spielberg is one of the producers of Maestro, 13th nomination for Spielberg. But John Williams, the composer, gets his 53rd nomination at 91 years of age.
Wow.
Most nominated living person ever, only behind Walt Disney, who had 55 nominations. So that's pretty amazing.
That is pretty amazing. Scott says, Barbie, why? The plot was so stupid. I thought the plot wasn't so stupid. I don't really remember what it was, though, but I remember thinking it was stupid.
Well, this is, what happens sometimes, and a colleague of mine said this. You might remember America Ferrera's speech, that terrific speech where the conflicts that women face, you can't be fat, but you can't be too thin, and a variety of other machinations. Somebody said during that speech there should have been a subtitle that says, "For your consideration, she's a nominee this morning," and that was unexpected. And she's very good in it. And one thing I think the Academy likes, and we've seen these in many of the precursors, are good winners and good speakers. Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers. That's a tough category for Best Actor. We had Coleman Domingo, who is a little seen movie of any of these titles, arguably the least seen movie, a film called Rustin that is on Netflix. He's not only great in it, he's been my favorite person during award season. And the Hollywood is high school with money, and there's a popularity element here. And he's so compelling and so winning in every way. You want him as part of this. So he's a nominee this morning, and I think that's another one where it's like, gee, little movie, big performance, pretty fantastic that he got in. That category is Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Coleman Domingo for Rustin, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright, deservedly so, for American Fiction.
You realize, just as an aside, the absurdity of this, these are all those names you mentioned, virtuoso actors, virtuoso performances. To compare them is ridiculous. The whole thing started as a promotion for the movie business, of course. It started as like a 20-minute thing, and then it turned into, the Academy and what it is, and it's this revered thing. But the reason I say it's ridiculous is that, until you see Coleman Domingo play the same role that Bradley Cooper did with the same director and all that, how can you compare them? They're pieces of art, That said, there is the fun of it, and we do like to rank things in our culture, and I think it's inevitable. I mean, even if the Oscars didn't exist, sitting around a dinner table, you would go, "Oh, I thought this was the best picture. I thought this is the best performance." So there's an element of that, I think, just in society. I have a question for you that comes from the audience, and then I want to get double back to Bradley Cooper.
Sure.
Flo asks, no kidding here, I feel Godzilla -1 is one of the best films of the year. Not your run-of-the-mill Godzilla. Tense emotional drama in very surprising ways. Not even one for international film.
It received a nomination for Best Visual Effects. And if you go online, and Mark, I can send these to you, the best reactions of Nazca. So that this is an Asian movie, and I don't know, frankly, if these technicians are in Japan or in Korea, but they cheer and scream when it was nominated. It's a great little piece of tape. Also, the folks behind Poor Things just erupt. They're so happy. And again, it shines a light on smaller movies. Your viewer knows about Godzilla -1. Not a lot of people do. So this helps.
Someone else is about Rustin. I'm going to lose you in a minute, I think, or so. So I want to ask you, double back to Bradley Cooper as I mentioned, he did not get, and I know he really, I'm guessing, wanted, because certainly this is a passion project of his, that's Maestro movie, for many years. He did not get a nomination as director, or am I right about that?
You're correct about that. But he's nominated for Best Actor, Best Picture. Carey Mulligan is his leading lady, nominated for Best Actress. I think it's a win across the board. And he talked about the generosity of directors like Guillermo del Toro and others who he shadowed. And I think Maestro has fantastic camera work. Again, the nomination is the win. And you're Bradley Cooper. This is the second time you've brought yourself to the Oscars based on a project you came up with and that you directed. So he did this with The Star Born. His track record is remarkable.
That's a great way to frame it. And I must tell you, in seeing Maestro, I was amazed might be, too big a word, or, but I was impressed, might be a more appropriate word, with the direction. I mean, I just thought it was inventive, some of the ways he moved from scene to scene. Yeah, the camera work, and it was quite well done. So, any surprises, Sam? Really, Divine Joy Randolph. I mean, that's a great performance she gives in The Holdovers.
If you run a stopwatch, she's not in the movie very long. Anthony Hopkins won an Oscar for Silence of the Lambs. He's in the movie for less than 10 minutes. So there's all these peculiarities. That's a really tough category. It's best performance by an actress in a supporting role. Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer. Danielle Brooks, who, like Coleman Domingo, is just a fantastic winner for Color Purple. America Ferrera and Barbie. Jodie Foster, who everybody loves. Nyad. And the Academy skews older. Jodie Foster nominated. Annette Bening nominated in a movie that hadn't received a lot of attention before, but they get the nominations when it matters.
You'll be on the red carpet, Sam Rubin. I know that they're very tough on the red carpet, but you do a show. I love watching your red carpet. It's so much more spontaneous and real than a lot of the other red carpet stuff. You will do something?
Yeah, we do a live red carpet show. The whole ceremony starts an hour earlier. I think it's ABC's admission that their highly produced network red carpet show isn't very good. So we'll see. They're hoping that the ceremony, they see a precipitous drop in the ratings past 11, past midnight, so the show can go very late. But I think Jimmy Kimmel will do a good job. I think you're going to see, Ryan Gosling, for example, has got to do this nominated "I'm Just Ken" song on stage. That'll be great. Billie Eilish with the other Barbie song, I think that'll be good. Two songs that are music songs that are unexpected. One from Killers of the Flower Moon, and then the other I'll have to look. But the Barbie was supposed to get 3 music nominations. It got 2. Your viewer Pinky here writes, "There's so many good movies to watch. This is a good list. Like sometimes you'll look at a Best Picture list and it's like, you know what? Here's the 3 you can skip." But I think all told, it's a really good list. Here we go. Fire Inside. Diane Warren is the Susan Lucci of this. She got a governor's.
Oh my God, she's brilliant and nominated every year, and she never gets it.
Never gets it. 20th nomination. It never went away. John Batiste, a guy who's very savvy about these things, felt that the John Batiste movie, which was about his wife and her cancer battle, was not nominated for a documentary, and he thought that was the Netflix's clearest shot at a win. By the way, this streamer takeover is complete. Netflix by far with the most nominations. Apple in second place, besting quote unquote legacy studios.
Wow. That is a big story that in Hollywood will be written about much more. Wow. Sam, I am told that precipitous, which you used, is a ding word, and fallow, as you used earlier, is a ding word. So congratulations, sir. Well done. And you're so generous to spend time. I know you're like the most, you're in such demand today, the most demanded guy. Thank you for being here today, Sam.
Mark, always good to talk to you.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.